Importance of vocabulary in IELTS speaking. Vocabulary serves different purposes in IELTS. Basically, you need it to understand questions and their contents. When you do not understand the question, you lose the chance to provide appropriate answers. So in order to enrich your vocabulary in IELTS speaking, you must learn words and expressions on a wide range of topics, from most common to least common possible topics in a conversation. Habits IELTS learners have. There are habits learners do which they think are right, and they are persistent in doing them. First, knowing and memorizing uncommon words without knowing how to use them properly. Most have the steady practice of learning uncommon or advanced words, believing they get high score when using them without understanding that when these words are used improperly, they convey wrong information or create grammatically wrong sentences. Second, disregarding common and basic words. Many perceive that basic words are less significant for their vocabulary skill, giving them lesser priority. As a result, using them as nouns, verbs, and adjectives is so confusing, and this causes the biggest misunderstanding in communication. These habits should be replaced with proper understanding and practices, which open chances of improvement. In this entire video, you will receive some suggested method to study vocabulary. Learn words systematically. List down vocabulary for set topics. List common words to useful technical words, consisting of nouns, adjectives, adverbs, to a set of verb or verb phrases. Learning a set of words is beneficial in reducing mistakes of word partnership and word formation. Here are examples of nouns, adjectives, adverbs, which are helpful to properly answer questions about a person. To study words, particularly words unfamiliar to you, use the dictionary to check the following information. First, parts of speech. Is it noun, verb, or adjective? This will help you know their function in a sentence. Second, its proper pronunciation and stress. Third, the definition, and this is very important for words with many definitions, to make sure you're using the proper words in a given context. Fourth, sample sentences. Reading sample sentences confirm if you are using the words properly. Here are adjectives that describe a person in a positive way. 1. Affable. It means friendly and easy to talk to. Her character of being affable makes her an effective manager. 2. Amicable. It means pleasant and friendly even in difficult situation. Despite challenges as a new employee, being amicable is the key to learning more. 3. Caring. She is so caring, she cooks food and makes coffee for everybody. 4. Thoughtful. It means carefully considering things. He has a thoughtful approach to achieving the huge goal of his team. 5. Diligent. It means careful and using a lot of effort. With his diligence, it's impossible for him to fail the training assessment. 6. Precious. Something of great value because of being rare, expensive, or important. She is so precious to the company. She has served for 2 decades. 7. Impressive. It is special, important, or very large. Her performance as a sales manager is so impressive. She always breaks her record. 8. Compassionate. Showing sadness and care for the suffering of others. She is so compassionate in displaying new rules to employees. 9. Trustworthy. Be able to be trusted. One necessary characteristic of teachers is being trustworthy. Parents can entrust to such teachers the education of their children. 10. Amiable. Pleasant and friendly. The new neighbor is amiable. She doesn't have difficulty getting along with other neighbors. Memorizing and understanding words help you appropriately identify your point and be able to provide relevant explanations when answering questions. Adjectives that describe a person's undesirable characteristics. 1. Arrogant, unpleasantly proud, or behaving as if you are more important than others. She is simply arrogant, displaying her irrelevant knowledge. 2. Careless, not taking or showing enough care and attention. My friend is usually careless in making decisions. 3. Deceitful, behavior that keeps the truth hidden. A life guide should not be deceitful. She is honest and pure with her intentions. 4. Dishonest, not honest. She makes sure to be transformed lady worthy of the favor she received. 5. Greedy, a strong desire to get more of something, especially money. She is quite greedy at work. She doesn't disseminate tasks to increase the capacity of her colleagues. 6. Grumpy, easily annoyed and complaining. When she doesn't have enough sleep, she acts grumpy in the morning. 7. Impatient. She tends to be impatient with every life goal she aims for. 8. Narrow-minded, not willing to accept ideas or ways different from his own. One personality a leader should have is not being narrow-minded. She has to understand her people's perspectives. 9. Harsh, unpleasant, unkind, cruel, or more severe than is necessary. 10. Fussy, not easily satisfied. He's so fussy about what he does. Everything should be absolutely perfect. This makes his friends suffer. Nouns to address a person. When you describe a person, what he does is significant to know. You will be confident to speak about her if your vocabulary about jobs names and their description is sufficient. Here is a list of job titles: a baker, a storekeeper, a waiter, a waitress, a carpenter, a house builder, a teacher, a tutor, a coach, a trainer, an office worker, an office staff, a dentist, a doctor, a nurse, a veterinarian, a military man, a serviceman, a speech pathologist, a training specialist, a curator, an art gallery curator. The person I admire is a teacher. She is an intelligent math teacher who explains advanced formulas clearly. Adjectives to describe appearance. One important point to describe a person is indicating physical looks. General looks, height, body build, complexion, hair, and other face features. Here are words to describe general appearance: attractive, unkempt, plump, well-built, muscular, obese. Here are other adjectives to describe appearance. For height, we use tall, short, and average. For body build, we use skinny, underweight, slim, slender, fat, overweight, plump, stocky, and bony. We use color and length to describe hair and color to describe eyes. Collocations and phrases describing physical appearance. Familiarization in collocations is a tool to empower your vocabulary skill. They make your speech fluent by correctness of word partnerships. Here are prepared collocations which describe a person. 1. Get done up. It means to get dressed smartly. 2. Youthful appearance. To look young. 3. Look young for your age. Look younger for your age. 4. Get on a bit. To get old. 5. Bear a striking resemblance to somebody. To look very similar. For sample sentences, please pause this video to read, and to go ahead and read the meaning again to confirm your understanding. 7. Be good looking. Be attractive. 8. Be overweight. To weigh more than what is regarded as healthy. 9. Shoulder length hair. Hair that comes down to the shoulders and no further. 10. To lose one's figure. To have a figure that has lost its tone shape. When using collocations, be careful not to replace the fixed preposition with another preposition because the meaning changes. Let's go ahead and answer part 2 question, applying words we'll learn from this lesson which are appropriate to describe this question topic. Describe a person you admire. You should say who the person is, what he or she is like, and why you admire him or her. Here is a sample answer. I'm going to describe my dad, Peter, since he is the greatest influencer of my life. He is a carpenter by profession. He designs houses, the interior and exterior. This introduction answers bullet 1 plus his job and brief description of what he does. Let's continue the answer. Growing up, I see my father as my role model in all aspects. Physically, he is average in height and in weight, making it possible for him to be physically active and healthy. He trained me to be athletic since I was a kid, so we always went hiking together with my other siblings. The second part of the answer refers to his physical appearance. I really admire him as a father. My sister and I always turn to him for advice. He's a man of wisdom in life that when we need some talk, guidance, and confirmation, he has been more than sufficient. A perfect listener and a guide. He is so compassionate in a sense that even in times my sisters and I make a huge mistake in life, he is all ready to forgive us and give us the privilege to stand up and recover ourselves. And I never see him impatient. He always waits for my siblings and me to achieve what we desire for. The third part indicates his quality and answers bullet 2 and 3. What I really admire about him is his humility. I saw many situations where people provoke him to act dangerously or to be humiliated, but he never gave in. And the outro talks about what I admire about him and its brief details. Looking at the sample answer, the underlined words are some of words we need to memorize and understand to be able to provide appropriate answers. Let's answer another part 2 question. Describe a person you know who does something well. You should say who this person is, how you know this person, what they do well, and explain why you think this person is so good at doing this. Here is a sample answer. I'm going to describe Miss Francisca. She is the supervisor of the school I'm working for. She is, I believe, in her mid-40s. With her appearance, she's so tall and slender. She has long, straight, black hair, making her like an Asian model. I had my first encounter with her when she conducted my final interview to be a teacher in 2012. During my interview period, she was professional and amicable. She spoke respectfully and gave my interview's feedback constructively. I was officially under her supervision the day after the interview. As a supervisor, she was a total package. She was knowledgeable of all the subjects a teacher taught in that school. She was also professional in handling teachers, from behavioral to skill training, and she took care of students' and parents' concerns carefully and effectively. I think she mastered her task and she approached them with precision and efficiency. And even when we parted ways, I have considered her my mentor in my profession. I always included her as a person of reference when I applied to other companies. This answer uses words which describe physical appearance and personality. Knowing these words makes brainstorming of general ideas easier, and it's also easier to provide explanations. The strategy used here is indicating characteristic and providing appropriate explanations. Let's answer this final question of this lesson. Describe someone who is well known in your town, area, or country. You should say what they look like, what they do, why they are well known, and say whether you would like to have this person's life or not and why. I can always think about Mr. Craig when people talk about popularity. He's a social worker in our village. He is in his early 40s and a good-looking man. Sometimes he grows beards and mustache, other times he is clean-shaven. Being a social worker, he helps people in my village, particularly the youth, to handle life problems. He is hands-on with the young people who have issues caused by abuse, neglect, or any violence. He has been very helpful to the treatment of behavioral and emotional problems of the out-of-school youth, which is a huge concern in my society. I see him many times moving on foot from one mountain to another mountain to bring house-to-house services. I believe he's not doing what he does out of his profession, but out of his compassionate heart. He has a heart toward people who deserve a better life. Especially in this time when depression and life has changed, he works hard to reach everyone in need. Because of his unconditional service, he is so popular. Whenever I see him, I'm inspired to live a life like his life, having a great heart to serve people. This answer speaks of his name, his job, his physical appearance, and his qualities, and his quality that is most admired. It is concluded with a sentence answering the last bullet point. So the challenge in answering part 2 is that first, study the words suggested by this lesson, check the definition, pronunciation and stress, definition, sample sentences, and memorize the words. Read the sample answers and practice creating your sample answers. And you can also comment down your sample answers on the comment section, and I'll do my best to go ahead and have a look at your answers.